Good morning. Welcome to Fiber Town. This is episode 39. I'm Emily, Chain of Fools, and Fiber Town with an R-E in other places. And it's October 30th, 2013. I'm having one of those not fully there kind of days. I've got my tea in my Jenny the Potter mug. This is PG Tips, double strength. And yeah, I'm sitting here at my kitchen table. How are y'all doing? There is a shadow here today, but that's probably for the best because I have the grandfather of all pimples on my chin. It's in the shadow now. So I'm liking the shadow for today. I'm going to leave it. So anyway, I'm here with Alice, who is licking toast crumbs off of my lap. Hi, Al. She'll come up later. I put a chair next to me. You can see it here. I put a cushion on it for her, so maybe she'll come and join us later. So yes, let me tell you a little bit about the show today. You can find show notes on the blog at www.fibertown.blogspot.com. You can find them on the Ravelry group, Fibertown Podcast. And the finished object giveaway for October will close on Friday, whenever I wake up. And yeah, so we'll do that giveaway next week. It'll be a big giveaway week next week. Where else can you find me? On Hipcast, on iTunes. Yeah. So I want to say welcome to Taylor H today. She's from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Hey Taylor, how you doing? And then I wanted to say thank you for two folks who left me iTunes reviews. So that would be R.L. McGill, thank you so much, and Crafty Cavi, thank you very much. So yeah, so we're up to 50-star ratings, which is pretty darn awesome. Let me just have a wee sip of this, and then I'll get into show and tell, because there's a big one. So we've got show and tell, we've got whips, we've got cals, which are both hals. We have spinning, we have miscellaneous, and we have a teensy-tiny acquisition. Okay. I'm going to be nursing that mug this whole time. Okay. Last week, just minding my own business, knitting on miscellaneous things, when all of a sudden it dawns on me that if I'm going to start a sweater on Friday, the hero, then that pine forest blanket needs to go. It needs to get done. So, starting last Thursday or Friday maybe, I just kind of buckled down and I knocked this sucker out. She is done. The pine forest. Technically it's a baby blanket. And why don't I know who the author of this pattern is? Let me look it up. Pine forest baby blanket. It's a lovely pattern. It's the gull lace, which is the same as the February lady sweater and the February baby sweater as well. So let's see, Pine Forest is by Ingrid Artoon. I don't think I've ever said that. I'm sorry, Ingrid. Off. This is out of my hand-processed, hand-spun Kriya alpaca fleece. Alice. Alice is in love with this. Okay, you want to come up? Oh, she won't let me hold up the blanket. Alice, is this your first time on the new webcam? Oh, Alice just had her breakfast and she's a big burper. Sorry about that. All right, baby, you sit over here. Sit in your chair. Stay there. Good girl. So you can see her over there. Hello. She's gonna look out the window. She's totally squirrel obsessed these days. We have a bird feeder up and it's drawing a lot of squirrels to the yard, and she's like in a state of heightened anxiety and just, she's not happy. Okay, so Pine Forest baby blanket. This little alpaca is such a lovely little animal. Its name was Hayes. I'm not sure if it was a boy or a girl. Look at that, everybody. It says washed and blocked, y'all. Let's get it closer. Very thick and thin because it's, you know, my hand spun, and it was 100% alpaca. I didn't blend it with anything, so the spinning of this is kind of slippery. But I'm very thrilled with how it came out. Smells good. Although every time I still wash it, it's kind of dusty. Those alpacas, they get dusty. They really do. Probably take a few more washings for no more dust to come out of it. Well, not dust, but you know, like the wash water is kind of brown. It's tan. If farmy things don't bother you, like they don't bother me. So I'm fine with that. Oh, Alice is asleep now. Anyway, this is lovely. It's not a square as I feared, but it's not a rectangle either, and at least not in the direction that the pattern goes. It's a rectangle this way. So it's amazing what you can get done when you really just sit down and focus. So I was monogamous on my pine forest, and it's done. It's really nice. What is that? Okay, that's just an end poking out. So this is just, you can see a little variation in color in parts of it. It's totally natural, folks. Love it. Highly recommend the pattern. Would definitely recommend stitch markers, but that is maybe the second blanket I've ever knitted. I knit another baby blanket, like in a 2-color honeycomb fashion. That was fun. But generally I crochet blankets. But that blanket is super drapey. It's very warm. I think people are going to be fighting over it once it gets really cold. Yes, indeed. So that is my show and tell knitting-wise this week. Have you noticed I'm wearing my Brickless by Martina Ban? Out of my hand spun into the world. Rambouillet. I do wear this a lot. I really love it. For my other show and tell, I have a sewing FO. I'm an interesting sewer in that I just kind of wing things. My daughter is going to be a purple wizard, like from the Septimus Heap books. If your kids have, I read them all too. We read them kind of simultaneously. And I can't find the top of it, but I made her a cloak. She picked out the fabrics, and she picked, of course, some trickier fabrics to sew with, including this silver lame and this purple crushed velvet. But I knocked it out yesterday. I just made it, I just kind of free-formed it. There, I got a little clasp. I got this clasp at Madison Wool in Connecticut this summer, and it's perfect for this. I sewed that on. Doesn't have a hood, but that's all good. Fits are great. It's really long. I just laid the fabric out and cut it in a cloak shape. Then I sewed it together, right sides facing. I left like 6 inches at the bottom and as a hole to reach in and turn it inside out, and I turned it inside out, and I sewed up the hole there, and it's great. So yay for winging it. Oh my gosh, we have 2 squirrels right outside the window, and Alice is asleep and doesn't see them, but if she wakes up and looks, it's going to be interesting. Okay, so yes, I do have an acquisition that I can't really bring over here and show you, but her name is Pam, and she was given to me by the mother of a friend who no longer sews, and she is a dress form. She is a little bit older than I am, covered in this awesome paisley fabric, and I am having a blast just dressing her up with knitwear. Did I tell you guys about Pam? My daughter named her. So she came in really handy when I was making that cloak. And she's a nice acquisition to my craft room. Oops. Okay, that is it for FOs. Let me show you my whips. Oh shoot, did I forget that one? All right. Well, I am knitting frou hats, what I call frou hats, and I'm actually only knitting one, but I have another one that I'm going to send with it that doesn't quite fit me right, and let me show you what I've got so far. This is a Turn the Square hat by Jared Flood, And I'm using the same yarn, Sirdar Country DK, but I'm holding it double. This is the yarn that I knit my son's sweater out of. So Turn a Square is by Jared Flood, and it's just a beanie, but it's striped. And I am modifying the pattern a wee bit because this is my second cast on. The first cast on was about 10 stitches too big, and so I recast on 10 fewer stitches, and I'll just be knitting it. It's got a very, very interesting, well, not interesting, but attractive crown decreases. I'll be striping these 3 colors in some random fashion. This is washable, it's soft, it'll be lovely for somebody. So that will go to Wendy, who is Silly Frou, who is the Sassy Pants Knitter podcaster, and she's collecting hats for her grandmother's church. Her grandmother passed away this year and had always donated a lot of hats to charities. So I will be sending this one, as well as another one I knit out of Malabrigo Rios, which is like a purpley color. I think they have to be washable, and Rios is, and it's a lovely hat. It's the one that Megan Williams published from the Stockinette Zombies. I can't remember the name of the hat, but it's really pretty. So yes, so I will be sending those to Miss Frou. If you want to knit a hat, go check out Sassy Pants Knitter, and it's a great thing to donate to. And Wendy's a lovely person, and she's doing a lovely thing to carry on her Grammy's memory. So that is going to get knocked out this week, and I'll hopefully get those in the mail very soon. The second thing that I'm knitting on somewhat is my Opel Little Prince sock, and I'm loving it. I'm using, again, the Opel Little Prince yarn. And I've turned the heel, and I've finished my gusset, and I'm on the foot. It's not too short a cuff, but it's a lot of fun to knit. I did one whole repeat of the design on the leg. So it starts up here with this cast on of this gray and yellow, and then it goes to this orange and blue. So I knit all the way through till I got to, yes, right here, gray and yellow, orange and blue, and then I started the heel flap when the color repeats started again. I just like drop stitches. I like heel flaps. There's just no two ways about it. I've knit Afterthought heels, and they are my only sock heels that have worn holes. You know, they're not reinforced. That's another like strike against them for me. They're not reinforced. They don't have the slip stitches that give the extra density in the heel. So I've only knit 2, and one of them busted a hole pretty quickly. So I like myself the gusset, and yes, this has my bottom of the heel gusset that I'm obsessed with. Just fits me great. So yeah, this will get more love. This is travel knitting. Oh, my daughter's temperature scarf. That's the other thing I'm knitting for her. I didn't bring that out, but I need to bust a move on that because her birthday is the 17th of November, and I'm still knitting the month of August. So I've got August, September, October, and then 3 weeks of November. It's all garter, should be fine. Okay. That's it for whips. I really haven't touched anything else. I've got another pair of socks going, but you know, things happen. I felt like being monogamous with my blanket, and that's good because it's done. I gotta get that on Ravelry. Okay, the next thing to talk about are the cows. Let me just show you this beautiful sleeping puppy, though. Aww, such a wee baby. Hello, baby. Who's a good girl? Alrighty. Yes, new webcam. Still playing around with settings. My quality last week, after compression, I wasn't too happy with it. The quality is best, I think, on YouTube, because it doesn't have to be compressed as much as for loading it on Hipcast. So on iTunes, you're going to get a blurrier me, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Just saying. But if you want clearer definition, you might want to view it on YouTube. let's talk cows, howls, as it were. Let's do herbaceous. It's almost done. Cal technically ends the last day of October. However, that's Halloween. It's going to be busy around here. I'm not going to close that until I wake up on Friday. At some point. If you get it in before I close it, it counts. So if you're like Dawn, Knit and Wolf from Wolf Farms, and you're busting a move, why do I keep saying busting a move? If you're working on your herbaceous and trying to get it done, don't worry. You've got till Friday when I close it. And then we'll draw for that one next week too. And remember, we've got awesome prizes. You've got great odds to win too, because I haven't counted, but I think there's maybe 20 some projects. I could be making that up, could be fewer. So you've got Lorna's Laces. I think I'm going to give them both away. And you've got Camel Shop. And these are both sock yarns. Gorgeousness. I think they're both going to be given away. So, hello. Excellent odds for winning a prize on the herbaceous. So yeah, I have been wearing my Zoe sock herbaceous a lot. And remember, that was the Shalimar sock yarn that had a lot of issues. It had a lot of broken plies. I love that stuff. I hope it was just a bad skein, because it wears beautifully. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. It's great stuff. All right, so that's the first HAL. The other HAL is the Hero Along, and that's going to start Friday, cast on Friday. You can be swatching and stuff, that's fine. I'm going to use my sleeve as a swatch. I'm going to do a sleeve, maybe both, first. Now, it's going to go from Friday to January 15th. That's a long time to knit a worsted weight in the round sweater. So yeah, relax, enjoy, stockinette with some interesting color work, not hard. Should be awesome. That's the Hero by Julia Farwell Clay. Why don't I show you all a picture? Duh. Did I put it in my Goodreader yet? Actually, I use Goodreader. Let me look her up. It's a beautiful sweater. Let me show you what I'm going to... I have to re-sign into Ravelry. The colorways I'm going to use. I'm still on the fence about one of them. Okay. I made a second trip to Fiber Space. I had planned to go with two friends. One of them got sick. She hurt her back, so she couldn't go. And so I did make it with another friend, and I bought a skein of shepherd's wool. $13. There you go. Is that right? Yeah, $13. What colorway is this? Does it have a colorway? Lilac. It's very heathery, but it will. This is the main color of the Hero. And before I go any farther, let me see if I can find a picture. So if you haven't seen this, you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm going to be knitting the pullover. Take a look. I'm going to show you Amelia Bella's. Hello, gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? So it's got a colorwork yoke as well as a colorwork sleeve and I believe bottom. So 4 colors. The body's a main color, and that's going to be my Cascade 220 Heathers, and it's colorway 7811. Yes. So this is going to be another one. Not even sure what order they're going to go in. My third color is going to be Cascade Yarns Dolce, and it's this gray. So far we've got, sort of in the same color family, purples and grays. And then for a pop, this is Galway. It's just green. The green is what I'm not sure about yet. I might use that, or I could go with a Tweety green. I kind of like this one. But it will introduce like the flecks of the neps in there. It's got some yellow and blue, so I don't know if I want to introduce those colors. So I will be swatching on my sleeve to figure that out. This is my other choice. Dream in Color, which I just dipped in my tea. Great. But that's very tonal. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But these are totally my colors. It should be a lot of fun to figure that out. So, yeah, that'll go till January 15th. So if you've got a lot going on over the holidays, it's okay. This is probably the kind of sweater you could knit in a few weeks anyway. Okie doke. I hope you will all, if you feel like it, join along in the Hero Along. I think Emily Ooh Fancy Pants is going to join along. And it should be a lot of fun. And there will be prizes. I don't know what yet, but they will be awesome. All right, let's move along to spinning. So, Instagram, the social media enabler of choice for me. I have become involved in a loop spin along with Eutropelia, Elizabeth, Creole, who's Kim of Craft Stash podcast, and Katie Did Knits, who is Kate from Gourmet Stash. I think Kate was the one who, and I hope I'm not missing anyone. I think Kate was the one who brought this up. I could be missing somebody. So I decided I was going to pull out my 2 loop bumps, and they are very similar in color. And they're not at all my typical colors, but here's what they look like. I'm showing you a picture because I've already got one on the wheel. So we have Seagrass, which is in the bottom, and Sweet Pea, which is on the top. And they're very similar. Let's see if I can get that to focus a little bit better. I think that's as good as it's going to get. You can't see very well, but let's see. They are Merino Tussa Silk Bamboo for the Seagrass. Oh, Seagrass, not Seaglass. And then Sweet Pea is Merino only. That's unusual. 4.2 ounces and 4.5 ounces. So, I think this one is the Sweet Pea. So it's got grays and greens and very, very subtle grays and almost a rosy taupe right here. And then this yellow, buttery yellow. It's just lovely. And the other one had similar colors, but also like a very pale turquoise. And this is all I have left of Seagrass. So I started this yesterday, and man, woolen spinning for the win, because you can just go so fast. I don't have it to show you, but it's what I'm doing is sort of a modified woolen where I'm using my, I can't remember which ratio it is, but it's the second smallest whorl on my Ladybug, and I'm treadling for 7 counts, and I'm pulling backwards, and I'm just pinching occasionally with this forward hand to sort of stop the twist as I draft, but just for a second. And so I have a big drafting zone, and I'm guessing it's going to be a DK or worsted when I'm all done, but it's going to be over 8 ounces of awesomeness, and it's going to be super soft, and I think it might make another brickless. It'd be awesome. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. I'm going to spin them both as singles, and I'm going to ply them end to end, 2-ply. So it'll be Barber Poli in places for sure. But the colorways are so similar that it should be really great. So I started this one yesterday, mid-afternoon, and with the woolen, with the long draw drafting, it's so much fun. It's relaxing, and you get it done fast. And I think this will be, I was afraid of getting a very dense yarn. I've knit a few things worsted, and they've just come out way too dense. So I like the loftier, airier yarns. At least for hand spun. I like those yarns a lot. All right, so that is my loop spinning, and we'll see how fast I can get the rest of it done. I have also been spindling on my Tibetan. I love my Tibetan. Deerfield Creations. I could not think of the right name. Lori Flutterbys makes Deerfield Creations. I spin with these two guys. This is a Spanish Peacock Tibetan, and I'm spinning Gourmet Stash Poonies in the Fibertown She's Crafty colorway. And I'm making progress on that first third. I have a wee bit more to go on my Tibetan, and this is another one I want to sort of focus in on and get it done. It's going to look awesome when it's plied up. So then, that's it for spinning. Miscellaneous. Someone asked me what happened to the peg loom. And you might remember I built myself a peg loom using a tutorial from Living Crafts magazine. Someone had gifted me a bunch of those, and it's a great magazine. I don't know if it's still published, but check it out if it is. Anyway, I had started to weave a rug using roving from my Problem Child fleece, my Rambouillet Cross, the brown one. And it ended up being a problem project. It's soft and sheepy, but when I washed it, little Alice sleeps on it in her crate. So what we're doing now with it, usually you weave with like a coarse spun yarn, really fat one, on the peg loom to make rugs, or you use really thick roving. What we're doing now is a project with my kiddos who like to finger knit. You ever do that? It's just, you make loops on your fingers and you pull it over. You make like a giant I-cord. So they're using scrap yarn and finger knitting, and we're tying the finger knitting together, and so it's very colorful. And we're weaving on the peg loom with the finger knitting. So that's going to be an ongoing project. I probably won't show that until we have a good amount done. It's hard to maneuver that peg loom around. But that's a lot of fun. The kids are liking that. Miscellaneous. My friend who took me out, bought me a birthday beer, and we went to Fiberspace together. She's my knitting mentor. She was, when I first started to knit, was the one who showed me how to fix drop stitches and all that good stuff. She knit me, she's the queen of the peaches and cream, or sugar and cream. I think peaches and cream is the one she likes. She's the queen of cotton. I don't understand it, but these smell really good. These are soap scrubbies. And she gave me a Halloween colory one, and here's like a reverse stockinette one. So yeah, so there's soap in here, and you just wash yourself. And it's like a built-in washcloth. How awesome is that? So thank you, Leanne. I love them. I haven't used them yet, but now that I've showed them, I will be using them. Okay, so peg loom, Fiberspace. I've showed you everything except my little acquisition. Now, this is totally a case of monkey see, monkey do. I am guilty of it. I'm human. It's all right. This is Patton's Croy Socks in the, what is this in? Blue striped rag. I love the way these knit up. And I've seen a bunch on Instagram, and I've seen them on podcasts, and I want some. They are mine. Got this one for 40% off, and this one for 50% off. Can't beat that. These are going to be, my husband's been wearing his hand knit socks more. He's sort of redeeming himself with the knitwear. Still mad about the sweater that was balled up in a corner of the closet, but maybe he'll get socks for Christmas. Although I would love these too. So that is it. That is my acquisition. You guys want to see my pine forest one more time? I do. Smells great. Smells soapy and clean, even if it does sort of emit dirty water still. Alice, let's drape you in it, my darling. Want to see that darling girl one more time? And there she is with a computer cord in her face. Alice, you see squirrels today? There's squirrels out there, Alice. I know, they're terrible. You go night-night. Alrighty. Next week, big giveaways. Episode 40, dude. Um, that is it. You all take care. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.